is futile to resist the necessity of breakfast. So you might as well enjoy it. That's something Grandpa was an expert at, enjoying things, especially breakfast, beer, and football. I think we can learn from that because there's no harm in enjoying things. Those after-dinner ice cream surprises for being a good girl were certainly enjoyed by a girl who grew up in a house of health foods. Apart from breakfast, there's also fishing. Living on the East Coast, I don't think I had as much coaching as my cousins did in this regard. But for some reason, one of the first memories of Grandpa that pops into my head is a summer fishing trip to Big Bear. Perhaps the only time I've been there. I'm pretty sure the trip was Grandpa's doing. I can imagine how happy he was to share one of his core hobbies with all 4 of his grandchildren at once. The girls woke up early to go out fishing with Grandpa, while the boys got the afternoon slot. Somehow, and this part certainly slips my recollection, Emily and I ended up catching 2 fish, while the boys came back empty-handed. I think preparing the fish for dinner that night was the only time I've ever gutted any formerly living thing. So I guess you could say that Grandpa taught me to fish, in a very much the literal sense. The whole gutting part aside, Grandpa was very much not only about enjoying, but also about sharing what others could enjoy too. When I was home in the United States this fall, one night my mom started talking about what she called Grandpa's magic, how he had a gift for making others feel good. In this sense, his pride in me as his granddaughter always felt genuine. Whether it was my high school or college graduation, or a summer league basketball game, or something much smaller, he shared his love and pride. There are other parts of Grandpa that make him truly special that I think others are much better positioned to talk about. But I do know that his resilience, his leadership, his loyalty, his kindness have directly contributed to my own opportunities that I've been presented in my own life. And for that I am truly grateful. Perhaps because I'm halfway across the planet, it's really hard for me to process Grandpa's death. It comes and goes in waves. For all I know, Grandpa is sitting in his home office, ready to help me with my 2016 taxes. Grandpa, I wish I could be there today. I take some comfort in knowing that everyone who is there was loved by you and that you love them too. I hope that you did not have to suffer for long. I love you, Grandpa. I'll miss you. Rest in peace. So that was by my sister, written by my sister Catherine. I'd just like to say a couple things about my grandfather, also Larry Stewart. A couple things. I mean, breakfast always came to mind. The same sort of thing. You can't avoid it. I mean, over Christmas, he'd gotten to the point where he was getting up later and later and later. But I said, before you leave, he spent 2 weeks at our house over Christmas, and I said, I want you to make me breakfast. So he did one day make me breakfast, and it was the last breakfast he made for me. In some ways, you got to count your blessings. And I've also fishing, as I remember, and also there's a couple sayings of things. I've gotten down, my parents have claimed perfectly how he said, well, and, oh, sugar booger wooger. But his good heart, I remember a couple years ago when I was in graduate school, I took down 2 international friends who had wanted to see Los Angeles, who had never been. One from Togo, which is a small West African country next to Benin and Ghana, and one from Afghanistan, and he welcomed them with open arms. And he was pleasantly surprised how generous and nice they were to opening up their house and giving recommendations. I'll miss him dearly, but I know he's happy and glad. He knows that I am finally on a path. I, like some other people, struggled after I graduated with a master's and finding my place, but he knows I'm going to Ukraine in March as a community development volunteer, where I will be for 27 months. And so he learned that when I was in this December for 2 weeks, and he was quite happy about that. I will miss him dearly, and I will pass it over to whoever would like to speak.